Hello, everyone. I am back again. It is your favorite real estate agent, Thomas Miner, and I'm here to just kind of catch you guys back up. I've been on vacation, so I'm kind of getting my feet back under me, and I'm seeing a lot of similar real estate headlines as I've been reading, catching up on videos and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to point out three things that I'm seeing and kind of put my twist on it and slash talk to you about some things to think about as we're heading into this 2023 market. If you're thinking about buying or selling, or if you're just the type of person that's interested, hopefully you find some of these thoughts interesting. So, speaking of interest, high interest rates aren't necessarily all bad. Your market, whether where you're looking to buy your market, is depending on whether what the demand and the inventory is like in that market, whether it's creating a seller's market, buyer's market, or a neutral market. And then your buying decision is also going to be based on the taxes in the area and the interest in the area, because all that stuff affects your monthly payment. Your purchase price does, your interest does, and your taxes do. But what does a high interest rate mean? A high interest rate likely means that there's going to be a few buyers that have to back out of that market. So what that can mean is you'll start to see the market shift. And then what that can mean for you as a buyer is you're more likely to get negotiations on concessions. We're seeing a lot of sellers concessions, especially with new construction right now. A lot of sellers concessions to help buyers buy down the interest rate, which can start to get your monthly payment back towards what it could have been if you bought in a low interest rate market, which is really, really nice. Not to mention, too, new construction, the homes are actually done now as opposed to back in like 2021, early 2022. The homes just weren't done yet. So there was just the inconvenience of having to wait for the home to be done. On the resale side, so someone selling a home that's already been construction for a while, you're seeing a lot more concessions come up during inspection. The sellers are much more likely to let you do an inspection with a long timeline, and they're much more likely to fix things after they come up if it's a legitimate inspection request. I've done videos about that before. If you have questions about that, don't be afraid to reach out to me. But all of that stuff is becoming easier to do. I hate to say the word normal because a lot of times real estate sales, they're all so individual. Nothing ever feels normal, but things are getting back to normal transactions. A lot of markets in our area are still sellers markets, so there's still not inventory that's caught up, but the high interest rates have made things go a lot more at a normal pace, and you're not competing with as many buyers. So it's not all bad, you know. And the thing to keep in mind too is as soon as interest rates go down, you're going to be competing with a lot of people again, because there's a lot of people just sitting waiting on the sidelines for interest rates to get back down to who knows what they're waiting for, but they're waiting for them to get back down to the 4.5, and then they're going to attack, and all these buyers are just going to come back at once. That brings kind of my up to the next topic. I'm seeing a lot of people do videos about whether now is the time to buy because of what I just pointed out. And I hate to do a video where I just make a blanket statement and tell people, hey, now is the time to buy real estate, because I am a firm believer in everyone's individual situation is so different. That's why I consider myself a real estate advisor, not a real estate salesperson. Let me sit down and talk to you about what's your motivation for buying? What's your money situation like? The type of home you want, does it make sense with both of those things? Where are you looking to buy? Are you looking to buy in a market that's still a really, really strong seller's market, so you'll still be competing with a lot of people, and on top of that, we have high interest rates? Maybe we need to look at buying in a different place, or maybe we need to look at waiting if it looks like things could possibly change. I'm here to talk to you about that and advise you in those situations. I'm not going to try to sell every single person a house. I'm willing to talk to everyone about their individual situations. I do believe that at some point in time, everyone's goal should be to buy a home, but that doesn't necessarily have to be tomorrow. Everyone's situation is so, so different. So I'm not going to sit here and make a video where I tell people, buy, buy, buy. Now is the best time to buy. It's everyone's situation is so different. So don't read the news from a national provider that's trying to scare you up with headlines and decide not to buy. Think about your situation and different too. I tell this all the time with people. The state of Iowa is a very different market than a lot of where those national news companies are based out of. So when you see a real estate news article, things are probably worse in the market that they're writing out of, and that's what they're basing it off of. So take all that with a grain of salt. Talk to a local real estate expert about where you're looking to particularly buy. Talk to a lender about your particular financial situation. Make the decision based off of that and not news, which I'm going to get into the next point. I think real estate news headlines are going to start to get a little weird. The thing to keep in mind is we're going to start to see some kind of weird year over year percentage drops more than likely. But the thing to keep in mind is when we were hitting in January, February, March of 2022, we were on like year 3 of pretty aggressive growth. And it would be really hard for us to see another year of aggressive growth on top of those. So if you see a number that looks, it's not going to look like a decrease. It is going to be a decrease. The thing to keep in mind is in central Iowa, we've had 13 years ish of continual appreciation. And we're hitting this point in the market cycle where it's going to start to flatten out, or it's going to start to decrease. We just don't really know how much yet. But that's just the thing to keep in mind is this is kind of normal. This is kind of expected. We're going to go through a market cycle. The other thing to keep in mind is the inflation numbers are going to start to look a lot better because we're going to start to get to a point where they're comparing inflation from a year ago where inflation was already starting to go up a lot. So the inflation numbers are going to start to look better as well too. So, and lastly with that, headlines in general, make sure to kind of read a little deeper into what they're actually saying with the headlines. So that the thing I see this is a lot with is the foreclosure headlines. They love to scare you with the foreclosures are foreclosing at a 4 times higher rate than last month, but we still haven't hit the foreclosure rate that we hit before COVID. So there's things like that to kind of keep in mind. How are they pulling the numbers? What exactly are they looking at? Because the other thing I'll see a lot on national news headlines is they say, well, prices have decreased by some crazy number. And what they're really talking about is that we're seeing more listings decrease their list price than we have ever seen before. And it's just kind of misleading stuff like that. So just really read in depth and really, really ask yourself the right questions. And if you want to talk about any news article you see or any real estate topic like that, even if it's national, not just Central Iowa, I would love to talk to it about that with you and my audience too. So share it with me. I'd love to start a discussion. I'm always here to answer questions. This was somewhat of a quick video just to get back into the habit of doing videos again after my vacation. Comment below if there's anything you want to see me specifically talk about. We're kind of snowed in. I was planning on doing some tours of houses today, and that plan kind of got canceled. But have a great day, guys, and thank you so much.